It's always a party at Patchworks. Let's get this party started. Woot, woot. Hi, everyone. This is Julie from Patchworks, and I am so excited that you're joining us for another Thursday Must Sew TV. Woot, woot. So today we are going to be sharing with you blocks 2 and 3 from my favorite color is Moda Quilt Along. So that's what we're featuring on the second Thursday of every month for the calendar year of 2021. Look at these fun blocks. Aren't they cool? So we are working with the beautiful Primrose Garden colorway, which is a Bella Solid kit available here at the store. And let me just tell you a little bit more about it. So let's look overhead. So you can see here we have this beautiful book. My favorite color is Moda Sampler, featuring Bella Solids. This quilt is going to finish 81 by 99, and we do have these pattern books available in store, as well as kits, and all of these wonderful blocks that are going to go together. If you didn't catch our earlier shows on this, I have 10 beautiful fabrics that I'm using for my quilt. And with them being Bella Solids, what I have done to help stay organized is on the bottom corner of every fabric. Do you see this? I have, with a Sharpie, numbered my fabric so that I can stay organized. Oops, where's my fabric? Where's my number 2? Oh, 2, 3, okay, and so on and so forth. I like to keep everything organized in a nice tote, so I just keep all of my fabrics, and anything that I don't need, if I haven't cut ahead, I just tuck any of my leftovers right inside so that I keep them organized 1 through 10 to help me throughout. So as a recap, we have 6 different colorways that Moda had created for their quilt. I have them here, and I think we have a graphic. Let's add that in. So for the graphic, for the colorways, we have Primrose Garden in the upper left. In the top center, we have Coastal Cool, which is beautiful blues and tans. In the upper right, we have Tropical Getaway, which is luscious, bright, vibrant jades and teals and oranges and fuchsias into great boysenberry. Lower left, we have Cookie Tin, which is kind of a nod to those December holidays, but I think that it is just a very calming color palette, so it doesn't scream Christmas. Bottom center, we have Trading Post colorway, and that is a nod to the Southwest, very much coming back into vogue, those deep, spicy colors with that touch of teal. And then in the lower right, we have the Pink Lemonade colorway, which is just a vibrant, citrusy, fuchsia-y colorway. So if you were looking to hop in at any point, feel free to give us a buzz, and we would be more than happy to hook you up with a kit. What I'd like to do now is let's take a little bit closer look at the blocks that we have for you. So up on the wall here, I have blocks 2 and 3. Okay, so you can see blocks 2 and 3. Just from seeing them, you can see that they're both strip patterns, so not half square triangles like we had in block 1. This was block 1 where we had giant half square triangles. And if you look closer, you're actually going to see that they are the exact same pattern with different colorways. Okay, so let's just look at the overlay. We have a graphic that we pulled from the Moda blog on this. And there are 3 blocks here. These colors are shown with the Coastal Cool colorway, and you can see block 2 on the left. The center is the diagram in grayscale of what the block looks like, and then to the right is block 3. Okay, so now in real life, you can see here that the pattern is exactly the same. This particular style of a log cabin is called a courthouse steps with cornerstones. So the cornerstones mean that there are these little squares here. And actually, the little squares help us keep things lined up really, really nice. The difference between the two is that block 2 has the same cornerstone color and then alternates for the outer steps 2 colors on both the left and right, 2 different colorways for the top and bottom, and then 2 different colors on the sides. For block number 3 here, we have different cornerstones, and the color placement is that you have a color for all the logs on the round. Very interesting and different. What's been fun with watching the different progression of different quilt-alongs that Moda's offered over the past year is seeing how different designers have contributed different elements. And I love, 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 because for one of the other quilt-alongs that we actually weren't doing a program on, Robin Pickens had done a story where with every single block, she would play with different color stories. And so Moda has done this for this block, and let's look at that picture. So we have this picture here where you can see the exact same pattern is shown in 15 different ways. This is showing the coastal cool fabrics again, and the upper left is showing how you could have it be more blue. And the second one is how you have your rounds, the way that we did our number 3. And then we get into all sorts of different varieties. So you can see how a simple block like this can turn into an entirely different quilt. I actually love in that second row, second in, it looks like a tile or something. So I could see a whole quilt made up of just that particular quilt block, and you could have some very interesting alternating patterns arriving from it. All of these images that I'm showing you are available on the Moda Fabrics blog, and I'm going to post a link to that so that you can print out or just look at a copy for yourself. Getting back to the block, let's talk about how to make a log cabin. In these previous sessions, I was talking about precision piecing and how important it is to have your seam allowance to be cutting right so that all of your intersections come out and the sizings come out correctly. I know that seems boring. I know that seems dreadful, but in a block just like this, it puts you on your toes so that you do have, so that you, if you're practicing good piecing, everything will line up. Truth be told, I was a little sleepy when I made block 2. And I'm happy that I didn't make block 2 and block 3 at the same time, because we actually are going to learn a little bit lesson from some of the stuff that we did with block 2 and block 3. So it's always a good reminder to come back to the basics. Okay, so number 1, prep that fabric well. So want to make sure that you're pressing it. I do like to pre-pair my fabric with Starch Savvy so that it gives it a nice crisp finish, and I'm not encouraged then to stretch. It just is a very nice, firm, crisp fabric, easy to cut, easy to stitch with. You want to make sure that you are cutting it well. So make sure you have a nice, sharp, fresh rotary blade and a nice set of rulers. I do use the rulers that we make here, and they will help you measure correctly to be able to cut just the right size. Measuring against a ruler instead of measuring against the mat will help you make sure that you have nice, accurate pieces to go together. Favorite needle is the Schmetz Microtech 7010 with the Aurifil 50 weight thread. And when I'm using pins, I like nice, fine quilting pins. This is the Clover Glass Head pin that works really, really well. Okay, so you have all the tools, you've prepped your fabric well. When you're moving between projects, or if you're changing how you're pressing, it's very important to always do your 1/4 inch seam allowance test. So, I mean, I've been quilting for a long time. I teach you how to quilt, do all sorts of different things. I followed the pattern which shared to press to the outside cornerstones on these strips. Now you know, if you follow me, that I like to press things open. So I was changing my methodology in this block. Changing a component will change your sizing. If you're ever changing a technique, always make sure you test your seam allowance. So what we're going to see here is that while they look the same on the surface, if I show you by lining them up, and I don't even know if you can see that. We're actually going to show you a little bit more up close here. Let me show you. All right, Frank, let's take the zoom in. Okay, so I lined them up, and do you see? Oh, gasp! My block 2 is smaller than my block 3. Yes, Julie did that. Okay, so what did I do? If we look at the back here, let's come back to the front camera, Frank. Okay, so what I did here is that I think I said I pressed to one side and I pressed to the dark. We can look at that overhead here. Okay, so I pressed to the dark. On my second piece, I did my traditional press open. Okay, so with however I prepared and stitched, maybe it was a thread off, I ended up with a slightly smaller block. Rather than just fixing it, I wanted to make sure to show you what I did so that we can improve upon it and learn from it. Okay? Now, because of where this is being placed, it's actually not that big of a deal, and we'll talk about it later. But if it were inside the quilt and needed to hook up to something else, it would be a big deal. So how are you going to make sure every single step along the way that you end up with the right size? Well, the nice thing about it is that you are lining up the logs to the unit. Okay, so every time you make a round, you line up a rectangle that should go to it. So if it's ever happening where it's too big or too small, that should be a stop to pause. Okay, I must not have paused. I must just have gone for it, thinking, oh, it's not going to be that big of a deal. But you want to pause and measure every single round. One of the things that you can do when you're trying to make up for something is to do a go for it. Okay, and that is when you take a strip here and you make it a little bit longer, you go for it. And what happens is that when you stretch it, let's look at this overhead. When we stretch it, what happens is that yes, you are able to make it grow longer, okay? But what happens is that it turns into an hourglass. And when it turns into an hourglass and you do this over and over and over, then what happens is that you get distortion. And so your rectangles might line up on your top and bottom, but on the inside, it doesn't match up because you've grown, you've distorted your shape. So That's why it's great to keep things nice and flat, press things, starch things, to have everything line up for you to be successful. Okay. On the Moda blog, they did share that they also had a little bit of a challenge the first go round. So let's take a peek at the graphic that they shared, and you can see after Michelle had attached her first round of logs, instead of measuring 6.5, it measured 6 and a little bit less than a half. So in order to make a correction, what Michelle did is she changed her needle position. I didn't do anything that drastic. I simply evaluated how I was working, and I just modified how I was stitching it. I still kept with my single stitch hole plate. I moved my fabric a thread the other way. In the write-up that Moda provides, they do offer an option of making the logs bigger and squaring up on every round. I would suggest with a quilt of this size that that's not an option that you pursue, because squaring up a large 18.5 finish can be rather challenging. So practicing all of the little things will help you be successful, which will make everything just be more enjoyable. And when it's more enjoyable, you just have fun and you sew up a storm. So I don't mean to scare you away, because after my little lesson with round 1, my round 2 went together super quick. So after I had everything cut, it pieced together in about an hour and a half. So that wasn't bad, and it was just fun seeing everything line up just right. Now when I press my seams open, I'm using a dry iron, and I do pin at my intersections to have everything line up just so. So those quilt pins can be very, very helpful along the way. Pin, pin, pin. Those are our tips and tricks on blocks 2 and 3. What I want you to do is, if you haven't already, make sure you join the Patchwork Party group on Facebook to be able to share show and tell, because show and tell is so amazing to be able to see your progress, get tips and tricks from others, see how everything's going. I'm so excited because we have 2 different show and tells that were posted for block 1. Let's see if we have those show and tell graphics available. So first one we're going to be looking at is a cookie tin variation from Sharon Bonnell, and that is the green and blue and with red. It's so pretty. And option 2 that we have, Anne Foglia shared her Coastal Cool block. So super, super cool. I'm so excited to see them come. I have yet to see posted someone who's not using a kit, who's using their own fabric, or has chosen their own adventure by adding in some of their own print fabrics into a solid quilt. I had mentioned that we do have kits available still for all of the colorways. For our Coastal Cool, which is our blue kit, we are still on block by block. So we have printed out and available for all of you who are on the Coastal Cool colorway. We do have the block by block cutting instructions for you in the store. Let me know if you need that emailed to you. And for those of you wondering when you're going to be getting the balance of your Coastal Cool, I'm hoping that we're going to have the rest of the blue fabric, everything that we need, by the end of April, okay? Everything's flowing, but everything's taking just a little bit longer than what we have been otherwise accustomed to, and that's all right. We're still having fun and still have our blocks that we can be building along the way. So if you can just hang with us for a month or 2 longer, that'd be awesome. All right, so what else do we have for you today? Well, we have something super exciting, because I was talking a little bit about our patchwork party and our show and tell. And last week, if you're watching, I gave you a challenge during our We Heart Tula program that I wanted you all to join our group and post some Tula show and tell. Well, we had a ton of entries and we have 3 amazing prizes that we are going to hand out. And then after that, I'm going to be sharing with you some of our new arrivals. How does that sound? Okay, great. So we have all of these show and tells from that were Tula. So it was, if you shared more than one, thank you so very much. We really like to inspire each other. Everyone did just get 1 entry, and it didn't matter if you were showing an elaborate project or if you were just showing something simple or some fun fabrics that you were getting ready to work on. Okay, so first prize is this out of print Eden header. Ooh, showing the focal piece of the tiger. So first draw is going to get this amazing prize. So think lucky, hold your fingers and toes. Stop in to get it, or if you are from afar, send me a message so we can get this out to you. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Very official. Sue Dib, congratulations. And I believe you shared a really awesome By Annie bag that you made. So thank you so much for that. Our second prize is Jaybird bag. So you can just keep everything nice and tidy for your Jaybird projects. Second winner is Anne Foglia. Congratulations. Thank you so much. And the third place winner, we have a great scrap of chipper. This is a beautiful fabric that you can include a little scrap into something. Very fun. Out of print fabric. Always cool. And let's open this one up. Amanda Pizzo, congratulations! So this week, what I would like you to do is to share your Moda, my favorite color is Moda Quilt A Long blocks, and one lucky person is going to win some amazing swag tools to keep in your toolbox. So many cool things. And then a cool magnet, okay? So really fun stuff to keep you all organized with all the little ditties that sometimes you forget about getting, but are really nice to have around in your toolbox. So are you ready to see some new fabric? Yay! All right, so lots of new stuff coming in all of the time, which is super exciting, and Frank's just ripping open the boxes. It's like Christmas every day, and you know, Frank loves to open those boxes and clip all the fabric up to be able to put it out for you. So let's take a peek. So we have a whole bunch of different things from different manufacturers. Just wanted to show you what's new, latest and greatest in the shop. Not everything, actually I don't think any of this is on the website yet. So if you see something that you love, message us here, come in, call us, we can hook you up, we can send it out even if it's not on the website. All right, so in no particular order, I'm going to repeat a couple of the things that I showed last week. So let's look overhead, Frank. We have some really cool popcorn fabrics that we put together into a fat stack. Super awesome. Love the popcorn. People have been asking for popcorn for years now, and we finally got a cool popcorn in. So I can see a really cool cuddle quilt for the couch. You know, now that the theaters have become our own homes, how great to have a really cool movie quilt, Netflix quilt, watching those fun things. Art gallery, we've been getting in some great art gallery. And we have this new low volume fabric line in. It's a little capsule. There are some pieces with script or just little doodads, some florals. We've been getting in a little bit more art gallery, which is really silky. And yesterday we got in the 10 new art gallery solids. So that is really exciting. These are great blenders. You can use them together just as a neutral quilt. You can put them just as backgrounds. You can put them in your stash. A lot of times we like to collect the darker fabrics and forget about backgrounds. So having extra backgrounds is great. We have stacks available in the half and fat quarter tower. We loved the Moody Bloom fabric that we shared with you a few months ago. And this has been really popular. We've brought it in again. Shipping's a little crazy, so we just got in the pre-cuts. So exciting! So we have 10-inch squares, 5-inch squares, and 2.5-inch strips of this beautiful fabric line. And the great thing is that since we didn't give up on this fabric line and kept bringing it in, we have great things to go along with it. So don't worry, you can have some great projects still made out of this fabric line. Next up, we have, let's just stay in Moda land here. We were able to scoop up some Springbrook kits, box kits here, as well as a little bit of the yardage, as well as other pre-cuts. So this is very beautiful, very springy, blue and yellow with a little bit of green. Great quilt pattern here. Beautiful extra fabric, and we do have some fabric so that you can pick out your back right away. And this is a 10-inch square layer cake quilt, Patchy Stars. So only a few of those left. Make sure to stop in to get that. The kit, the quilt finishes, let's look at what it finishes. It finishes 70 by 82 and it is $129.99. Next up, I have, let's look from up front here. Dwell in the Possibility by Gingerbread just came in, and this is the signature panel, and it is so wonderful. I love the meaningful phrases that are part of this panel. We'll be featuring this in our Moda University Club next week, but this just came in, so I wanted to share that with you. We do have pre-cuts as well as yardage, and of course, this beautiful panel. I can't wait to show you more of that. I don't know if I've talked enough about this. Heather Mulder-Peterson of Anka's Treasures has her brand new Trendy Table 3 out, and these particular runner books have been fabulous. We have just featured so many from Trendy Table 1 and Trendy Table 2. We're super excited for Trendy Table 3. And in her classic style, she also offers us some other sizings, I believe, in the back here, where she occasionally shows us how to make things a little bit bigger. So that's always fun. Great instructions, always a good author to be featured. This book is $22.50. Other fun fabrics. Let's look at these. So how should I set them? Let's see. Let's look at them overhead. In our beautiful springy floral, we have two beautiful florals here, or one floral with one background. So this hummingbird here is in the wisteria. It is a digitally printed fabric from Hoffman Fabrics. Nice blender. We also got in some beautiful purple and blue batiks. that this would blend beautifully with. We have some whimsical cats. So we have reading cats. So fun. You know, for the longest time, we didn't have any books at all. And then we started asking about books, and now we have all sorts of book fabrics. And the fun thing about Timeless Treasures here is sometimes they like to combine all the trendy themes. Then we have some beautiful flamingos from Dear Stella here. Flamingos and hearts, and you can see here how this is a nice smaller flamingo. Keeping with a tropical theme, we have some wild tropicals here. Perfect for a Hawaiian shirt or a fun dress. So this here is Meet Me in Paradise. You have all of these gorgeous flowers, and I am not the person who knows all of the beautiful fabric flower names, but I just know that they are very tropical and make me think of going on a tropical vacation, having a luau. Then we also have here another Meet Me in Paradise print. This reminds me of Miami Vice. What do you think? But I could see a really cool shirt in this. And we have people who come in wanting fabric for Hawaiian shirts all the time, so this would be great. My cousin is in a Hawaiian music band here in Milwaukee. I can just hear the music playing. Then we have, not tropical, but we have the Very Hungry Caterpillar classic theme with the marbles that everybody looks for. We finally have a little bit of this back in stock to be able to go with all of your Very Hungry Caterpillar themed projects. We have knitting cats, because you can never have enough cats and you can never have enough knitting things. And so in the very trendy denim-y blue with this soft rosy pink, it is just beautiful. I have another wildlife panel that I'd like to share with you. This is a watercolory panel here. Look at the beautiful cabin in the woods. Looks like a great place to go up in northern Wisconsin. What do you think? We have some great coordinate fabrics that go along with it as well, so that you can make a wonderful project that is masculine but also fits your need for style and trend if you are making it for your own decor. Now, I think I've saved one of our best surprises for last. We have a cool new kit called My Honeybee. So we've had the kit out for just a little bit, but we finally made up the quilt and it's super cute. So I'm going to show it to you. So Frank, why don't you look at the kit while I get in position to show you. So the kit is 62 by 70. The price on the kit is $99.99. And the quilt is, we have some other things in the background, but that's all right. Look at this, 62 by 70. And you're piecing some beehives. You have some pinwheels in here. You're artfully using panel squares, and I love how we are corner squaring the panel here, and then it just lines up. So if we step back, I want to make sure I'm not tripping over anything. It looks like it is just one cohesive strip going around that center panel. So what do the little phrases say? Pardon the weeds, I am feeding the bees. Save the bees. The hum of the bees is the voice of the garden. Plant flowers, save the bees. Be happy. Be kind. I can't wait to get this one quilted up. I'm going to hand it over to Angie so that she can do her magic on it. And this will be a great wall hanging or throw for your next project. This is an intermediate project, not too hard, and Heidi did not have any challenge with the pattern. All right, so let's look at that kit again. So that kit is $99.99, nice value price. Oh, and before I let you go, I still have to show you one last piece here. It's hiding on me. We have gotten in a bunch of Shannon Cuddle, and this is one of the new prints that is in, and it's some super cute owls. How we have that Shannon Cuddle in the store right now is that you can't, it's not out front, it's behind the cutting counter. So if you want to see anything, just let us know. We're in the process of hanging strips like we do our wide backs in the store, so you'd be able to thumb through all of it. But in the interim, if you need anything that you can't see, just let us know and we'd be more than happy to bring out a selection for you. It's never a bother. We just have only so much square foot in the store with how we are arranged these days. So I would like to thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you had fun. We had a lot of fun with you. Make sure to like and share. You can also join our patchwork party. Make sure this week to win a prize, join Patchwork Party and share something with your My Favorite Color is Moda. I can't wait to see all of your projects. Happy quilting and see you soon.